Hello, mi gente, and welcome back to Kiss My Crafts. My name's Maritza, and I'm here to do a whip and chat. So pull out your projects, whatever you're working on, and join me while I talk about things that are Christmassy. Okay, but I first wanted to tell you, give you an update on the traveling carousel box. Mindy just posted earlier. I saw she posted the fifth stop of the box. So go check that out. I will link the video down below. I haven't checked it out myself. I need to go see. I want to see who got it. So I will link that down below. I am working on this Christmas painting from Joy Autumn. It is a 79 by 58. This is a little friendly diamond paint along that Mindy and I are doing, and I know that some of you have this and are joining us. Thanks. That's going to be that, this is a really beautiful piece to work on. I am not bored yet. I haven't done a whole lot. I saw Mindy did a lot on hers. Like, she did the whole bottom, and then she's going up she's going up that way. So she's got a lot done, a lot more than I did. So now I've got to bust my ass. Oh, I should have said this in the beginning, but this video is not intended for kids. So if you're a kid, go away. Just go away. I'm not going to touch on all that in this video. I may touch on it on another video because I want this to be about Christmas. And I didn't make any notes. So I am doing this I don't know, what do you call it? Ad lib. So I hope this comes out the way I kind of planned. I was going to make some notes and just have them here so I can remember everything I wanted to say, but we haven't had heat here since Friday. And I've been cold. I wasn't able to diamond paint during the day yesterday because my hands were just freezing. Let me just start this. My hands were freezing, so it was difficult to diamond paint. And I ended up diamond painting very late at night, and I missed Mindy's live, so I watched the replay. And I was able to get some done, but my hands got cold. They fixed it yesterday. The boiler's out, so they supposedly fixed it yesterday. But it worked for a little while, and then it stopped. Okay, I'm not watching what I'm doing here. It stopped. So the landlord was back today, and he can't get a hold of the guy who came yesterday because the guy's not answering the phone. So wonderful. So he did something, I don't know what, but it's coming up now. So I'm going to take advantage because my hands are not freezing. Yeah, it was a rough night. I was cold, and I don't care how many blankets you put on. When you move to a new spot, that's it. You got to start all over again because that spot is cold. I keep picking up too many. Okay, I'm not paying attention. Okay, so I told you what I'm doing. This is a big ass painting, but I'm really enjoying it. I don't like big paintings normally, but my experience with a big painting was a portrait, and I got bored. It burnt me out, and it was the only one that I was working on during that time. I didn't start another one. I didn't have a few going like I do now, and I was getting bored, and I wasn't liking it. I loved the finished product. But it was a 55 by 83, and I know some of you like the big ones, but I felt like I was never going to finish because I was bored, and I wasn't working on it as much as I would normally work on something that I'm enjoying. This one I'm enjoying because it's a scenery. It's not just one face. And so there's different parts to it. Like there's the house, and then there's the Christmas trees. There's a horse. There's a carriage or a sled. There's a kid and a dog. There's different parts that I'm looking forward to working on. So I'm not going to get bored with this one, but I gotta bust my butt because I am going to Florida at the second half of December. So I want to finish this before that. I don't know if I will, but I'm gonna try. I have to work on it when I come home from work. That's what I have to do because there's not enough hours in the weekend with everything that one has to do. So I'll try to put in at least an hour every night. Oh, an hour, that's bullshit. An hour turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 4. And before you know it, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you got to get your butt to sleep because you got to go to work the next day. And that's what happens to me. When I diamond paint during the weekday, I get carried away. I lose track of time. And I end up going to bed very late. And then I can't get up in the morning. And then I get to work late. It's all a chain reaction. So anyway, I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope your week went well and your weekend has been great. It's freaking cold here. Oh, I already touched on that. Feels a little better now that the heat is on again. I just hope that this isn't temporary and that it continues working because it's going to be miserable tonight. It's going to be rainy and cold and windy. And my room tends to be cold anyway, so I don't need it to have wind and draft coming in through the windows because the windows are kind of old. It's an old house. So working on this painting has kind of got me in the Christmas spirit. I'm not usually in it. This is a time of year that I dread. I seriously dread it. I don't enjoy it like I used to. And I'm not going to try to make this a depressing whipping chat. I'm just going to get through this part real quick. Since my mom passed, and I think I probably touched on this on another video, but since my mom passed, it's just not the same for me. It feels like, the family doesn't get together like they used to when she was alive. People kind of doing their own thing, and, it's just not the same. Mom would make Christmas special. Mom was very heavy into the traditional foods of Christmas, and there was not one year that passed by that we didn't have our traditional Christmas dinner and everything that comes along with it. So a traditional Puerto Rican Christmas dinner includes pernil, which is roast pork, arroz con gandules, which is rice and pigeon peas. We also make something called pasteles. And it's hard to explain. It's like a Puerto Rican tamale. So if you know what a tamale is, it's not exact the same, but it's kind of that same type of food. So a pastel in some countries is a pastry or cake. In Puerto Rico, a pastel is a food, and I will insert a picture somewhere around here. They take root vegetables, mostly green banana, and it gets grated, it gets seasoned, and then separately there's the meat that's made. My mom always used pork, and the pasteles that I've had always had pork. Some people make other types of meat. Some people use chicken, which to me is sacrilege. But so they make the meat, and then we use a butcher paper, a green banana leaf, which they do sell in the stores, and then you take a spoonful of the grated root vegetables, which is now seasoned and no lumps. You got to make sure there's no lumps and stuff like that. You really got to work what we call it, the masa. You got to work it. So you take a big spoon of that, slap it onto the butcher paper, and then take the meat, put it in the middle, do whatever. Some people add olives, some people add garbanzo bean, people do them different ways. So that gets wrapped up in the paper, gets tied up with string, and it gets boiled. Well, we'll freeze them first, and then it gets boiled for an hour, and you serve it with the pernil, and you serve it with the arroz con gandules. And we also will make potato salad, and sometimes some families will add an Italian dish like lasagna or baked ziti, or in my case, I've made stuffed shells, which is one of my specialties. So there hasn't been a Christmas since, before she passed, that we didn't have that. And the making of the pasteles, I hated it. Okay, it's a lot of work because of the multitude or the magnitude of work that one has to put into. My mom used to love to make a lot. And when I say a lot, over 100, 150, I remember up to 200. Okay, and they get tied up in pairs, and then we put them in the freezer. So she liked to make a lot because she liked to share with my aunt, with my brother, a neighbor, and she also liked them to last, and she liked to have them for a long time. So that's why she made a lot. And stacking them in the freezer was a big to-do. If I find a picture, I will post pictures of what I'm talking about. The foods and stuff that I'm talking about, and they're pictures of my mom's cooking. So that's going to be bittersweet to look for and post, but yeah. So that's the main meal, and we'll have that on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is like a bigger deal than Christmas Day, because Christmas Eve is when all the parties happen. We party, or Puerto Rican families tend to party Christmas Eve, and at midnight, that's when they open the presents. Some families will allow one present to be opened. Not us. We at midnight, that's it. Give me my gifts, and that's how we've done it. And that's us growing up. And when we were growing up, my dad used to dress like Santa Claus. So if I have pictures of that too. My dad used to dress up like Santa Claus, but it wasn't a secret that it was my dad. We used to see him put on the costume and get all excited because dad was Santa. But we didn't think it, anything wrong with us knowing and seeing him getting dressed up. Like in other families, it's a big secret who the Santa Claus is, unless the kid's really good and very observant and like, that's daddy or that's Uncle Bob or whatever. But yeah, my dad used to dress up like Santa Claus. So when we were little, we used to stay up to midnight and open our gifts at midnight. And what sucked about it was that it was late and my mom wanted to go to bed, and we couldn't play with our stuff because we had to go to bed. I followed the tradition of allowing my son to open his gifts in the morning. Just because I wanted him to go to bed. Kids are take up a lot of energy, and you need. Sometimes I'd be tired, like it's time for bed. But I wasn't a big pusher of Santa, unless I wanted him to be good, and then I threatened him that Santa wasn't going to come. But I don't know how much he believed in Santa. I mean, he kind of outgrew it pretty early. Anyway, another traditional food that we have is arroz con dulce. And it's like a rice pudding Puerto Rican style because it has coconut. And my mom used to make the best arroz con dulce ever. I mean, most people say that about their mom, but I haven't eaten an arroz con dulce, which translates to sweet rice, I guess you would call it. But it's a rice pudding. But my mom, when she would make that, the whole house smelled so good. Oh my goodness. And she would make a few pans of it because my sister-in-law had to have a pan of her own. And when I wasn't living here, she'd make a pan for me. And everybody loved the arroz con dulce. And unfortunately, I didn't learn how to make it. I'm sure I can find recipes online and try it. But I just miss my mom's. What else? Oh, we make a Puerto Rican eggnog. We call it coquito. And in there's rum and there's coconut cream. Some people use coconut water, evaporated milk, sweetened condensed milk. It's a very thick, very sweet drink. And I put white rum. My coquito is pretty popular at work. I made it one year, and the following year, there were people that I'm not friendly with, for gift giving and shit, coming up to me talking about put me on your coquito list. I was like, okay. So it's pretty popular, and it's always requested during this time. People come up to me, you're making coquito? I offer the recipe and they don't want it. If they follow my recipe to the T, it'll come out just like mine. It's no big science. I just put 1 cup of everything that I have. I put it in the blender. Yeah, it's for some people I'll make it stronger because they're luscious and they want it strong. And but the normal amount that I put of rum is 1 cup and 1 cup of everything else. And cinnamon stick, and I put a little vanilla. It's very good. I'm not a big fan because I'm not a big drinker of milky, thick substances. I don't like the texture. So I tend to make my coquito a little thinner than other people. This way you can get it out of the bottle. Because if you make it too thick, you can't pour it out of the bottle. You got to really let it sit out for a while so it could get room temperature. But it is a traditional drink, and everybody makes it, and people sell it. I've been asked to make it for sale, but it's a lot of work. The first year I did it, I made 27 bottles of it, and every day I would come home and make a few. It was for gift giving. I didn't even sell them. It's not hard. Oh, and there's egg yolk that goes in it. And sometimes I omit it because I don't see the difference, with it or without it. So why waste the egg, and why risk someone getting some kind of bacteria and getting sick because the egg, was raw. I've seen recipes where people cook the milk. So I don't do all that. I just 1 cup of everything that I use. Yeah. So if you want the recipe, email me or comment down below. I'll send it to you. What else do we do? We don't follow super strict traditions. In Puerto Rico, they do have more traditions. Like they'll do parrandas. And a parranda is like Christmas caroling. So a group of people go and they'll go from house to house and they'll sing Christmas songs. And Puerto Rican Christmas songs are so much fun and so lively and so happy. They just get you going. So they go from house to house, making a lot of noise, banging on stuff, getting the people, waking people up because this happens at night. And it's fun. I don't know about the people that get woken up, but and usually the people that you're visiting and singing to, they'll come out with a glass of coquito or coffee or something for you to eat, and they might join you into the next parranda. So they'll keep going from house to house. As times go by, it gets a little dangerous to do that because people are not as friendly as they used to be. So the parrandas are pretty much limited to family and people that people that they know. I've never been to Puerto Rico during the holidays. I would love to because I know it's like a month-long celebration over there. They start the beginning of December and they end it after what is called Three Kings Day, which is, I think, much bigger in Puerto Rico than even Christmas. My parents didn't do the Three Kings Day because they were poor and they didn't want another reason to have to buy us gifts. So they shut up about Three Kings Day. I found out about that as I got older. And I was like, how come we didn't do that? You know, I'm up for any time that there's gift giving, you know. But yeah, we didn't grow up with the traditional customs, but we did grow up with the traditional foods. I think this symbol is done. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this symbol is done. My parents weren't super religious. So, you know, there is a midnight mass that people go to. I don't remember the name of it. And then some people do the grape thing. Oh no, that's New Year's. I'm sorry. Well, you got to eat a grape for each second or some shit like that. I learned that in school with my Spanish teacher, who happened to be from Trinidad, but she was like a lover of Spain. She went there every year. She knew so much of it that I thought she was from Spain. Come to find out, the last year I had her, oh, they fell in the glue. The last year I had her, I find out she's from Trinidad. Go figure. Anyway, what was I saying? This video is going to be all over the place. So, you know, since my mom passed, we really don't do much of anything. It's just like any other day, you know, unless my brother's family comes over, and that's usually on Christmas Day that he'll come over. The last time I went out or we really celebrated Christmas Eve was like 2017. Yeah, it was 2017. And that Christmas, it was 70 freaking degrees outside in the night. Okay. So we hung out on the deck, on my brother's deck. There was people inside, but it was me, my cousin and her husband. My niece went out with this guy who was Mexican, and he brought his mom, his sister, his cousin, and 3 bottles of tequila from Mexico. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the 3 bottles went. And there were 6 of us drinking shots. And every time I wanted a shot, I was like, happy birthday to me, because my birthday is like 2 days before Christmas Eve. And so I would be like, shots. So the guy would line up all 6 shots and we'd all take them. And yeah, we finished those 3 bottles. What symbol am I going to work on? Let me do this one. Which one's that one? Number 6. So yeah, I was very happy and tipsy that night. I was singing, I was dancing. We had a blast that night. It was really fun. But when I got home, we got home about 1 o'clock in the morning, because after midnight everybody opens their gifts and that's it. That night, it wasn't a night for, normally they'll continue the party and be dancing till 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning, but that night they brought us home, my dad and I laid down and I started feeling sick, and I knew I had too much tequila. And I was trying to fight it. I was trying to take deep breaths and really, really fight it. But no, that was not working. And needless to say, I was sick every half hour till 8 o'clock in the morning. And that was not fun. So Christmas Day, I spent hungover that year. Oh my goodness. And speaking of the pasteles, I did not finish saying how much I hated doing them because it was a lot of work. And my mom liked to start at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And everybody had a part. My dad would peel all the vegetables that they used. And it would be green banana, plantain, sometimes yuca, which is, I don't know what they call it in English. I really don't know what they call it in English. I've seen it also called malanga. I'm not even sure. But other root vegetables, potato, calabaza, which is pumpkin, but not in the pumpkin that you might think, not the Halloween type pumpkin. So my father would peel all that, and then my brother, we had a machine to grate it, which back in the day you grated with an old-fashioned metal grater, and you held the grater with one hand and you grated those vegetables, and you had to grate it to the last tiny bit because my mother was not wasting anything. So sometimes those pasteles had blood, skin. I couldn't grate all the way. I was always scared of getting scraped, and it's not fun to get scraped with a grater. So when we got this machine that someone gave my mom, it was a juicer, an old-fashioned heavy-duty juicer that she would put the vegetables through there, and they came out fantastic. It wasn't too thin. It was just right. She didn't have to work it so much. So the work became easier because that's the hardest part, is grating the vegetables, because one at a time. So usually you have 3, 4, 5 people grating so you can get it done, because if you're going to make 200 pasteles, that's a whole lot of masa that you have to make. So I hated it. My job was to tie them, pack and tie. That was my job. Unfortunately, I didn't really learn or ever make them myself. I think that if with some help, I can get through it, because I remember, this is every year of my life that I can remember up until my mom passed away, that this was done and we all helped. Anyway, that's that. I finished that, because I tend to start a story and then jump to something else. So yeah, 2017, that was the last time that I really had a great time Christmas. This year, I won't be here, and it's the first time ever in my life that I will not be in New York for Christmas. I don't know if I'm gonna miss the cold. I don't know if it snows here because it's really nice when it snows on Christmas Day. I love when it snows on Christmas Day, but I'm not a big fan of snow, because the next day you got to go in it to go to work, and it's not fun. Everything tends to break down. The trains slow up, or something gets busted, or if it's enough snow, the city can shut down. Buses aren't running, trains are slower or not running. Those are good days. Then you get a snow day and you stay home, because how am I supposed to go to work? Walk? No. They'll tell you, like, the mayor is slick. The mayor will say, please stay off the roads. It's very dangerous. However, city employees, please take great care in getting to work. Get there as safely as you can. Yeah, I'm going to get there as safely as I can. My ass is staying home under my covers. When my kid was small and I had a snow day and he had a snow day, we'd go outside and let him get his fill of the snow. Oh, I need my tweezer. Let him get his fill of the snow, and then until he freezes. He wasn't a fan of being cold, so that didn't last long. But yeah, that was the last time that I really had a great time on Christmas after my mom passed away. And this year I'll be celebrating it in Florida with my boyfriend and his daughter, and I'm looking forward to it. I have no big plans here. Okay, I think this symbol is done. And I truly was not looking forward to it, but now I am. It's going to be different because, Florida's hot. Right now, the temperatures have cooled down. He said he was cold last night. But I like it like that. I don't like extreme heat. So yeah, I will be off of YouTube for those 2 weeks. So maybe I'll do a little vacation vlog. I'm not sure. I don't like to be in videos. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do some kind of little vlog of my vacation during while I'm there. Okay. I have a freaking itch on my back and I can't reach it. Hold on a second. I'm going to pause this. Hold on. Okay. I keep dropping these things. Damn, I dropped a lot. I fell again. Where did it fall? This definitely has to be framed. I mean, it's pretty big. I don't know if I can find a frame this big, but it has to be framed. This is going to be my Christmas picture whenever I get a house, because here I don't really put up pictures on the wall. I left some drills in the tray. So we used to put up a tree every year. My mom there are hundreds of ornaments. And I love putting up a tree, but I hate taking it down. When I had my apartment, my tree was small. It was 4 foot tall, and I would load it up with ornaments. I'd get cheap ornaments and collectible ornaments. So all my collectible ornaments I take really good care of because they come in their boxes or their little velvet pouch or something like that. And I would get ornaments for my mom, and she also was collecting them over the years, so she had hundreds of ornaments. So putting up the tree was great, but taking it down, oh my god, it sucked, because you had to put everything back in the proper box. Coño, these things don't want to come out in the proper box. So it was a big chore, and her tree was really big. My tree was 4 foot tall. It was kind of narrow. I'd fill it up with ornaments, fill it up with lights, and then I'd take a big box and I'd decorate it like as a gift. And then I'd put the tree, what am I going to work on next? I'd put the tree on top of this decorated box, and it always looked really, really nice. Number 5. Let's do number 5. This is pretty red. Number 5 is DMC 321. Oh, is that a hair? It sure is. Get out. So yeah, but my tree was always decorated really pretty. And we used to decorate outside in the front, the windows and the gate. We don't do that anymore, and it's kind of depressing. So yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here for the holidays. I wish I could be out of here for New Year's as well, but I couldn't take that long of a vacation. When I priced it out to leave before Christmas and come back after New Year's, it was too much, because that's like the prices are just so high for airfares. We would end up spending like $800 on a round trip ticket. So I decided to leave earlier, or get there earlier. So I'm going to leave on the 14th and then return on the 27th. Which is a Friday. If I would have spent the weekend and come back on Sunday, it would have been like $250 more. So at least I get to spend my birthday there, and celebrate his birthday, because his birthday is the day after mine. That's why we're so freaking alike. And I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice, and I'll be happy. I'll feel kind of guilty because my father and my brother stay behind, and they'll be here by themselves, because I doubt if my other brother is gonna come. They've been going away during the holidays the past couple of years, so I'm not sure if they have those plans. And I feel bad for them. You know, I was invited to spend Thanksgiving with my cousin. My sister-in-law also invited me to spend Thanksgiving, and it would be nice, but I would like to cook so my brother and my father can have Thanksgiving dinner. And my brother and I will pack food for some guys from the neighborhood that don't really have any family nearby, or are loners and don't have anyone to cook for them. So we pack them a nice, the works. We give them a little bit of everything, because I cook on Thanksgiving. I make turkey, and I'll make stuffing, some kind of sweet potato. I'll make stuffed shells, or lasagna, or mac and cheese, depending on if anybody's coming. One year I made fried ravioli. That shit was good. And we have dessert and vegetables, of course. Forget to have my brother make a potato salad. We just have a nice spread, a small spread, because it's just the three of us. So I don't go crazy like we used to back in the day. Everybody brought a couple of dishes, so much food. And so, we prepare a nice, decent plate for each guy, along with dessert. And if we have coquito, we get small bottles, we give them some coquito. So we've done that the past few years, and I would feel guilty if I didn't do that again. I would think about these people that don't have anybody to cook for them. And it would make me feel sad, So I pass up the invitations just so I can do that. And I think that's my giving back, I guess. It feels good. It really feels good. Last year I think we packed for, it was like 3 or 4 different people. And they had a little bit of everything, the dessert, the coquito. They were so happy. And there's a couple of them that expect it, because they've been getting it for the past 4 or 5 years. And I would just feel bad if I didn't do it. And I would think about them just sitting there watching TV, eating whatever it is that they would eat for the day, and not have a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal. Everybody deserves a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal. This is not about Thanksgiving, right? This is about Christmas. I don't know what more to say. I was supposed to do a little bit of research on Puerto Rican celebrations, but I didn't. And I know more or less what they do, but I wanted to get my facts right and correct, and I just didn't do it. I'll save that for I'll prepare something like that for another time. So, are there any traditions or foods that you have to absolutely have on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? Is Christmas Eve bigger for you than Christmas Day, or vice versa? Put it down in the comments. going to work on this for a little while and stay quiet and just keep recording, and I'll do like a little time lapse of it. So I'll come back to you in a little bit. What do you do when there's, there's a couple, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever, and both your families want you over for the holidays? What do you do? With my ex and I, we used to split the days. So Christmas Eve, we'd go to his family's house because they always had a party. And Christmas Eve, that was Christmas Eve, we'd go to his family's house. And Christmas Day, we'd go to my mom's house, because my mom and dad they weren't into the partying. My brother would have parties at his house, but Christmas Eve was for my ex's family, and then Christmas Day was for my family. Sometimes we'd end up at his family because the party would continue. But I know that it's not easy to divide yourselves up, because, people, especially parents, no, I want my, see my grandkids. I want to see you. It's very hard on people sometimes, and they have to either split up or make someone angry. Because people get butthurt real easily. I don't have that problem now. I go wherever I want. If I want to stay home, I stay home. If I want to go to somebody's house, I go to somebody's house. Like Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to celebrate my aunt's 70th birthday. So I'm spending the weekend at my cousin's house. So I'm looking forward to that. I always enjoy staying there. We have a lot of fun. Her husband can't take us, but we have a lot of fun. This symbol's over. Bueno, mi gente. Oh, let me touch on something. I'm almost at that 300 subscribers. My giveaway is coming together. I already have it planned out. I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly what I want to give. But I'm going to remind you, I'm not going to announce it in a title, in a caption, on Instagram. If you want to be part of the giveaway, you have to pay attention to the videos. There's not going to be a clue. I am going to do a whip and chat, or maybe an unboxing, and just interrupt it and announce the giveaway. So yeah, that's coming up really soon. Okay, so look out for that. I did this symbol and I missed this whole area. Que lindo. Is it that one that I did? That's not the only arrow. But yeah, I already did this, and look at all this that I left. I always do that. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but that shit pisses me off. I put the color away, and then I search. I will look over and over and over again, make sure I didn't miss one. Put the color away, start a new color, and boom, I'll see one that wasn't there before. Anyway, mi gente, you all take care. I hope you all have a good week ahead of you. And I shall talk to you. And I apologize if this video was all over the place and made no sense. I always think that way. And then I get these wonderful comments from you guys. You guys are like just ego boosters. Really, I really, really love doing this. I love the people that I'm meeting and interacting with and making friendships with. And the support I've gotten from you guys, oh my God, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Okay, I'm not gonna get mushy because this is not the giveaway video. So you guys take care, have a great week, and I will talk to you in my next video. Besos. Mwah.